Hey, Franchum. I have a question for you. What is it, Martin? And I think I know the question. Is you're going to ask, what do you think we're talking about this week? And I think that we're talking about discounts and discounting your tickets. And I'd love to get your opinion on that. Well, I got to be honest with you, Franchum. Discounts equal death. Now that is very dramatic. Discounts equal death. You know, that's a big and a very bold statement. Do you stand behind that? Yeah, absolutely we do. And this is one of the things is most of the time what we see is the people that are offering discounts, they're doing this out of the goodness of their hearts. They are either trying to appeal to certain demographics that they want to be able to have come to their show, or what they're doing is they're worried about the number of people coming. They've taken a look at ticket sales. They decide that the ticket sales are low, and they discount because of that. And even if you get a good job or fill those seats, you still end up with a problem in your next show. So let's run through the basics of show math, because it's really counterintuitive the effect that discounts have on your promotion and what it does to you. We're going to talk about this through the lens of, I believe, Cabaret Nova, because that's where most people are who are watching this show. Cool. Yeah. We're going to call this the Tale of Four Shows. If that sounds good to you, Martin, I would like to present four shows that are running similar concepts, similar costs. The expense to run both those shows is $1,500. That's what it costs us to put on a Cabaret Nova show. All the shows give performers an equal split of the door revenue. We have 21 people involved in the show. That's your performers, your crew, your producers. So everybody's making an equal split of this. Now, show A is going to offer no discount. Show B is going to offer a 25% discount. Show C is going to offer a 50% discount. And Show D is just going to give a +1 ticket to the cast and crew. Now, what this leads to is, our little simple scenario. We're going to have a theater with 120 seats. If you're in Ottawa, that is Labo. That is, the Arts Court. A lot of places sit kind of around 100 to 120 seats, some less, some more. You can repeat this with any numbers you want. But for our sake and make math easy, we're going to do a ticket price of $30. That means to break even, we have 50 seats, need to be sold at $30. That'll give us our $1,500 in revenue that we need. And again, our performers and staff are all splitting the rest. Now, with show 1, we have our theater, 120 seats, ticket price is $30, 50 tickets to break even. Everybody's splitting that. Cool. Our total revenue is $3,600. Our expenses are $1,500, so 50 seats times that 30 number. Our performers and staff are all paid $100 plus tips based on that $2,100 that's left over, divided by 21 people. So easy math, you're walking out there $100 or more in your pocket. Now, what if we go to show 2? And, Martin, do you think you could present this? I think I can there, Franchum. So show 2, we're looking at this again, 120 seats, $30. They're all going to sell out, but we're going to apply a 25% discount. Now, what that means is our expenses haven't changed. They're still sitting at $1,500. So our seat sales to break even have now moved up to 67 seats. It's actually 66.6, but you need to sell 67 because you can't sell a split of a seat. So we're going to say 67 for our sake. Now, what that means is our performers are still paid on the same model, but our total revenue has gone down from $3,600 to $2,700. And now, when we factor that out across of our expenses, that means that we've dropped from $3,600, $2,700 minus the expenses. That's $1,200 left over instead of $2,100. Divide that between our 21 people. We've dropped to $57 plus tips. So even though you gave a 25% discount, you ended up sucking $43 off the performer salary and pay. And this is where people often don't equate the two, is they think I'll offer a 25% discount on my tickets, and what's going to happen is I'll just lose, all of our performers will go down 25%, be $75 instead of $100. Not true. Because you haven't changed your bottom line expenses, you're eating into that. And that becomes even more pronounced in show 3. Take it away, Franchum. Show 3. Theater has 120 seats. Ticket price is $30. The discount is now set to $50. And again, for easy math, we're going to have everybody taking that discount because, whatever, it's set to a group that could do that. So our seats to break even now, we need to sell 100 seats to break even because we're making $15 a seat instead of $30. Our performers still paid off that door split, but what has happened is our total revenue has dropped from $3,600 down to $1,800. Our expenses have stayed the same because our expenses didn't drop. They're still set at $1,500, which means I now have $300 to split between 21 people. That roughly shakes out to about $14 for plus tips for your cast and crew. That's pretty brutal. Yeah, you gave 50% and ultimately you ended up sucking all of the money out of your production. Rough day. Probably what they should have done is just set their ticket price at whatever ticket they wanted to sell that at, and then made it accessible to those people, marketed it to whatever group you're trying to bring in, and target your marketing to that on Instagram, on who you're trying to get out. But instead of discounting your tickets, because now what you've done is suck the profitability out of your show, think about this from just setting your ticket price at a rate that the people that you're trying to attract can pay. So now, in our show A, we had 70 profitable seats at $30. Show 2, or show B, we had 45 profitable seats at $22.50. And show C, we have 20 profitable seats at $1,500. At $15. You can see how quickly you're pulling money out of the system because your expenses stayed floored. Now, what about plus ones? Effectively a free ticket. Hey, Franchum, do you offer plus ones? No. Because discounts equal death. What this means is you've given out 21 free tickets. And what that goes to is now your theater, instead of seating 120, seats 99 people. You had 120 seats, you gave out 21 free, that's 99 tickets. Your ticket price is still $30, you still need 50 seats to break even. Your performers still played on a split of tips and the door, 21 performers and staff. What that means is now your total revenue is going to be $29.70 in terms of what you can bring in. Your expenses are the same. Your performers are being paid $70 plus tips. Wait, $70? What does that sound like, Martin? Well, Franchum, I do believe we did some easy math, but wasn't the ticket price $30? Which means all of our performers have gotten one free ticket as though they bought that ticket themselves, and yeah, it's come right out of their pocket. So you might as well have just not given a plus one ticket and just bought that ticket yourself. It'll shake out the same thing, and then everybody who doesn't buy a ticket for a plus one, that'll end up going back into your pocket. So it's way better to just decide to buy a friend a ticket yourself and then use anybody who didn't to put money back into your pocket. So plus ones, they don't really make any sense. Now, here's the other thing that we have found is when you give somebody a free ticket, something tends to happen that you don't see otherwise. Franchum, what is it? They don't value the show as much, which means free tickets or discounted tickets tend to lead to lower tips, People just showing up to support you because they got a free ticket, or not even showing up at all. The number of tickets that we have given out for free, where then somebody has flaked last minute versus where they are committed to a set amount of money, is way higher. So, any free ticket that is not redeemed is 0 tips on top of that. So there's money leaving the system that way. And even if they show up, their likelihood to tip or tip large is lower. So it really does not do you any good in that regard. Just buy a ticket. It'll go so much better for you in that way. But also, when we've set up a discount, I do believe that sets a precedent for another show. And Martin, do you want to tell us about that? Yeah, absolutely, Francham. We did discounts once on one show because we got shadow banned by Instagram. We just tried to fill seats. We're already going to take a loss. And what we found is all of a sudden people at our next show were asking us, were tickets going to go on sale? Was there going to be a special code? So what ends up happening is you put out a discount code, and almost always you don't put that discount code on the front of what's happening. So what happens is all your friends who buy the ticket at $30 feel that they got screwed later on because you applied a 25 or 30% discount to your tickets down the road. So they get angry at that. And then the other thing you do is you train people to sit on your ticket price and wait till you give a discount. So once you've set a price that, hey, I always give a 25% discount 5 days out and a 50% discount the day of, I'll roll the dice. Small show, it's $30. If I don't get to go, I don't get to go. But let's see if I can get it for 15. And you end up just incentivizing people to do the wrong thing here. And so, discounts really, really hurt. The other thing it does is very psychologically, there are a lot of people that are showing up to your show and they are okay spending money. And I know that flies in the face of what a lot of people think out there, but Francham, I will tell you, people come to your shows and your show probably is not going to be the biggest expense in their evening. Yeah, I totally agree with you. If we're taking a look at a $30 ticket, let's say a couple is going out. They have bought a $30 ticket. Well, they want to be there in advance. So how do they do that? They go out for dinner. That dinner is probably going to be more than your $30 ticket price. When they show up to your event, do you have drinks? Do you have refreshments? They're probably going to end up purchasing some of those. Now, if you're taking your partner out for a nice night, and what you see is, this show just got slashed in half, nobody's showing up to it, it might not be very good, the ticket's only $15 now because it's dropped, they just cut it. I don't want to go to an empty venue when I'm going to be spending all of this money taking my partner out on a nice event. And again, this isn't gender specific, this works for everybody. They'll look at a discounted site and think that it is now of less value, or the show must not be good because nobody bought it at $30. So if I'm going to spend $100 for dinner, why am I going to cap it with a $15 discounted ticket to another event? I would rather pay $30 and go to a nice event. And there's a gentleman, Rory Sutherland, who does a full breakdown on it. Big marketing guru. His videos are all over YouTube. But yeah, it creates a psychological precedent once you start discounting your ticket that your show is not worth showing up to at full price. And if you're paying full price for a bunch of other things in the evening, well, Martin, you probably were willing to pay full price for these tickets. So yeah, that discount, it burns you on the first show. It takes money out of everything. It's going to make producing your second show harder. Your next show, you're going to have an expectation that you're going to offer discounts. And then many of the people who were showing up and willing to buy a $30 ticket now won't do it when they see that discounted price because they don't want to cap a nice evening with a bad experience. And by giving a discount, it makes it look that way. No good. But Martin, is that true? What about big shows, like Taylor Swift coming in or somebody else giving a discount. Yeah, you'll see on a lot of ticketing sites for big shows, they will offer discounts to get people through the door because they're very confident that, okay, once we get people through the door, hey, they're going to spend on concession, they're going to spend on merch, they're going to spend on parking. They've got a lot of ways to redeem money going into the experience that maybe you don't have going into this. And we'll see this very often. Offer 50% or 25% off your ticket price. When you go to check out, hey, your parking is now $20, whereas if you paid full price for your ticket, your parking was $10. If you don't think venues do that, they absolutely do that. The other thing is, as a small production, you're not getting money from the bar. You're not collecting revenue from merch for the most part. You're not getting any of the alcohol sales. So parking, all of those ancillary things that help bring up that budget, you are only getting paid on people that come through the door. So make coming through the door the most important thing that people can do. So no discounts, they equal death. Set your show rate at a rate that people can afford for what you want to do and just roll with that. Or there's another strategy, and we do this all the time with Nova. Hey, could you explain what you guys do with Nova? Yeah. We do the reverse. Instead of offering a discount, offer an early bird price. Hey, our early bird price is $20, and in the last 2 weeks, it jumps up to $30. In this next season that we're doing, if you're watching this before 2026, 2027, we're going to have $25, $30, and $35. And what that does, that gives a gradient. Now, it incentivizes somebody to buy early. The person who bought early doesn't feel jaded when that price goes up because they were smart. They bought in advance. You're not giving discounts. We have our show budgeted that we could sell all of our seats at that $25 and we'd be happy and we'd be laughing. When it jumps up to 30, that's just extra money that goes to our performers. When it jumps up to 35, that's even more money that's going back to our performers. But if every seat sold at $25, we would be okay. And that's now extra money coming in versus money leaving your show. It's just a much, much better model. Go for that. The only time I would say we would offer a discount is if you have an enormous group with a single payer that's coming in. Like, they're going to buy 10 plus tickets. Okay, we can work something out. And that's also something your audience can understand very well is, hey, somebody who's willing to buy 10 plus tickets, we gave them a group discount. Sure, find 10 friends, bring them to the show early. We'll talk it through. So I think that really beats discounts to death. Both going back to the title of this video and beyond. Martin, what are we going to be talking about next week? Well, super cool thing. If we talked about this week budgeting and discounts and death, let's start, we gave an example of a theater with 120 seats, but let's actually talk venues and where we can perform and what we can do on them. We'll see you next week. We're going to start talking venues.